All right, all right. Well, it's no longer the Smoke Signals podcast. We only had Guardians of the Future for the most part last year. We'll find a new name for this, but man, Spencer, welcome back to the podcast. It's been a while, buddy.
I know, man. Feels like it's been forever, even since we could talk baseball.
I know. You and I have tried to talk multiple times over the last several months of doing a podcast, and especially over the off season. But I feel like every time we talked about doing it, we were like, I don't know. I didn't want to talk about the Hall of Fame. I didn't want to talk about the lockout, and I don't know, there's just things always holding us back.
Yeah, there really wasn't much to talk about.
I know. And now, I mean, who knows what might happen tonight? The gates are unlocked.
Yeah, I was even reading the new playoff format system, which was interesting to say the least.
Yeah, I'm not as bothered by the 12 teams. I think 14 would have stunk, but I would say 14 was probably a precursor to a 32 team league, whenever that happens. And that'll probably be the next labor fight in 5 years, but we don't have to worry about that right now.
Yeah, absolutely. So is this setup supposed to be like a bye for 1 and 2?
Yeah, I gotta go through and look at that for sure. I'm not really 100% sure if that is the case. I don't know how that's gonna work. I think the first round's, I know the first round's 3 games, so it's gonna be like it was when it was 2020.
Right.
So I kind of like that format, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be different for sure. But divisions used to be a thing for sure, and then wild card was a thing, so we'll get used to it.
Yeah, I think we'll get used to it, and really, this is good. I mean, it's good for the team in general, but I know there's going to be a lot of focus on if 12 teams make it, they don't have to really try all that hard to spend money and may improve the team. And that's definitely going to be true, but yeah, I don't know, man. You get in the playoffs, things can happen. I'm not saying random variance should be a strategy. You shouldn't just want to go 81-81 and hope to get in. Like,
I was going to say, because I mean, I remember there was a time in the early 2000s, I think the Padres won their division at like 79 and 83. So like the 6th best seed some seasons is going to be pretty atrocious in certain leagues.
Yeah, I mean, what was it? In 2019, the team went 93 games. They didn't get in.
Yeah. Certain years, like what was it, 2017? What was it? 3 teams won like 105 and 103 and 104 or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was like, but certain years baseball teams are incredible, which also means there's some terrible baseball teams alongside of that.
Yeah, I mean, you might let some bad teams in. I don't know. We'll see what happens, but I think the good news is baseball is just back, and I'm not super concerned about the 12-team thing.
No.
I really, again, they might go to 14, but that won't be until they start talking about expansion into 32 teams.
Right.
Here's some more details coming out as we're talking. Expanded playoffs. So no more game 163 tiebreakers.
I saw
all
that.
All playoff spots determined through NFL tiebreaker formula. I hate that. Okay, I'm going to be honest. I hate that. I love the game 163.
The 163. Yeah, it makes sense. Absolutely.
No reseeding for the division round, so the number 1 seed plays the winner of 4 or 5, and 2 plays 3 and 6. So that's fine. I'm still not seeing anything out there about what's going to happen in the first round of the playoffs. So if anybody has a bye or not, so I guess
I saw it said 3 versus 6 and 4 versus 5, and then 1 would play 4
1 and 2.
5. Well, yeah, so they would play like either of the series. So they get buys. So my question, the reason I led off with that is teams that are 1 and 2, since it's a 3-game series, you're looking at what, 7 days off of baseball, maybe 6 days off of baseball. How do we feel about that? How do we feel about that?
if you're a team that's got good, if you're rolling at the end of the season, I mean, it's good. You get a chance to reset your pitching, so you definitely have the advantage. Just set your pitching rotation up. Like if you're fighting for a playoff spot the last week of the season, chances are you're screwed anyway. So I guess maybe that actually doesn't matter because if you're fighting for a spot the last week of the season, you're one of the last seeds and you're not going to get a chance to set your rotation. But I guess in fairness, you got a couple extra days to get the guys healthy and kind of get things the way you want. But also, if you're playing really well, nobody wants that time off. You want to keep rolling. Baseball.
That's what I'm saying. So let's say, God forbid it ever happens, Angels finally make the playoffs, and Mike Trout's hitting 407 in September. You probably don't want like those 7 days off in between.
All right, well, let's be honest. Mike Trout's team is not winning the number 1 seed or number 2 seed. So right now, I don't think we got to worry about that. And look, the Angels owner was one of the. I don't know if it was this time. It wasn't this round. It was the last round. One of the votes for raising the competitive balance tax or whatever. The Angels owner was one of them to vote no.
I know. So
clearly, he's not trying to spend any money.
Yeah, I always do love CBA in basically all sports when you dive deep into it and you get a lot of reporting and you find out who the actual real, like basically D-bag owners are. I found out a lot about the Diamondbacks owner and how he's basically, sucks. My buddy's a big Diamondbacks fan and he can't stand them. So
yeah, they're the ones, one of the ones that voted no too. So
yeah, apparently he's a huge piece of crap.
I mean, look, I think if you are a billionaire, you probably did some very unsavory things to get there at some point.
For sure. Or you're born into it.
Yeah, you're either born into it or you screwed somebody over to get there. So there's no good way to do that. Yeah. What else we got? Let's see. I like obviously the stuff that really worked out well was that the players got $700,000 minimum salary. That's a nice bump.
Yeah, that's nice.
I was talking about this earlier. So we didn't get minor league players paid better, which we knew we weren't because they're not under the
CBA.
The union, unfortunately. Yeah, they're not part of the union, which is stupid. But nothing you can do about that this year. Maybe in a couple of years we'll get to have a chance to maybe change that. I don't know. But if you're one of those guys that gets through the system somehow, your first year in the league, you're making $700,000. That's a nice payoff for getting through. Instead of making the league minimum's a little bit better, so that's good. What was most interesting to me was the 5 options. So players still have 3 option years, but now you can only option them up and down 5 times in the season. I wonder if there will be a injury component to that, like some kind of exception for injuries.
Right.
I kind of hope so because that could be tricky. But
what's the?
I kind of like that. It helps players not get shuffled up and down so much.
Yeah, and what's also like the, and I know it's not as rampant right now, but what's like also the COVID aspect of that?
That's a good question. I don't know. They didn't say anything about a COVID list this year, a taxi squad. I don't know. I feel like we're not going to have that as much this year. I will say there was the other thing I did see was that they're not going to pay players for missing games due to COVID. So if you don't have your vaccination and you can't, well, it isn't due to COVID, but if like players can't play in Canada if they're not vaccinated. So a certain reliever, maybe. I don't know. Might not be.
What do you mean?
I don't know. There might be certain players that can't play in Canada, and if they miss a game because of that, then guess what? They're not getting paid that money. So
last I knew, Cole Beasley does not play baseball.
Well, there are Cole Beasleys in baseball, and it's not Cole Beasley.
For sure. For sure.
This one have Aaron Rodgers. I don't know. We'll see how that pops up. The CBT got raised, not as much as the players wanted, but you're going from $230 million and finished at $244 million. The Mets, the Yankees, the Astros, and the Cardinals are the ones that voted against the deal today. Dissenting team reps, I should say. So
yeah, I was gonna say those teams again.
Yeah, so Max Scherzer and Francisco Lindor, they're representing
the Mets. I kept reading about the Mets all day today, and they just definitely didn't want it because they knew that Steve Cohen was going to spend, and they didn't want to go into that 4th tier bracket of the taxes. And they're like, we can't vote for this. And they're like, we really don't give a shit if you go into that 4th tax bracket or not.
Right. Yeah, I'm not surprised they are the ones that voted that down, but what are you going to do? It passed. That's good. I find it very interesting that all of the executives on the board for the players' side voted down. So 8-0, the executive board, but the rest of the rank and file players all voted yes. I'm not really sure what that says about the players' union, but the deal got done, so I guess I'm not too concerned.
We'll find out again in 5 years. See if they're still there. See if the executives are still in.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Well, Max Scherzer might be gone by then. I mean, he's been around. I can't imagine his arm's going to last into his 40s, but you never know. He's not slowing down now, except for last year when the Dodgers overcooked his arm. Universal DH, love that. Glad about that. I never want to see a pitcher hit ever again. That is so boring. No pitchers hitting. We don't know the shift. Yeah, we don't know if the shift is gonna be banned. It's they passed that thing where they said it. The league can implement rules within 45 days now. Yeah, so they won't do that till next year. So
yeah, so it sounds like it's definitely, from what I read, it's definitely going to push through in 2023.
Yeah, so no shift next year, but this year don't got to worry about it. The other thing I thought was total eyewash. I couldn't believe that it became a sticking point. And then the CBA at any point was the draft lottery. So the lottery is for 6 picks. So the worst 6 teams are all in a bucket now to see who gets the first pick. I don't know if they're weighted odds. I don't have like the specifics on that, but I can't imagine any sport where a draft lottery is so pointless, because the guy who you pick, in the 11th round could be better than the guy you pick in the first round. Even the overall pick.
Yeah, you get one.
Yeah, the first pick and the 6th pick is not a big difference. So the lottery in this sport is almost pointless.
Yeah, usually, there's a pretty high hit rate on 1 picks in like NBA and NFL. And very rarely you'll get a second round guy that's an NBA Hall of Famer or like a Tom Brady. Baseball, it happens all the damn time. So, it's completely pointless to me personally.
Right. So I'm having a hard time understanding why that even became a part of the negotiations. That's so stupid to me. Like, why?
Tanking,
why did either side care? But that doesn't solve tanking.
I know it doesn't, but
so
that was the NBA's reasoning behind it, and I'm guessing MLB is trying to implement some of that because they're not trying to have like those Tiger seasons of like 41 wins. Does it make sense? No,
but I don't know. That's just it doesn't address tanking.
Right. Well, what about if the team's bad, it's just bad, right? I mean, if there's nobody on the roster because you traded all of them away, they're just going to be bad. I saw that was a sticking point too. Was that lawsuit in 2018? I thought that was
So that didn't get dropped, but the players had a grievance filed last year because they claimed that the league was trying to tank negotiations last year. So that lawsuit, they tossed that lawsuit, but they still have the 2018 one out there. I don't know; those are hard to prove, but They dropped. They settled the Chris Bryant thing years ago, so I don't know. Okay, here's the playoff thing. You're right. There is a bye for the 1 and 2. The best part about this, no more. Okay, I didn't actually hate the 7-inning doubleheader. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't hate it. I know a lot of people didn't like it. Not my least favorite thing. But no more runner on second. No more ghost runner. It's over.
I really wasn't.
That was the stupidest thing.
Yeah, that thing was stupid. I really wasn't a big fan of it because, it's one thing in like high school, but like with how good pitchers are right now, if you got a 2-1 lead in the 4th inning, you won the baseball game. Yeah, right. Yeah, literally, the first team to score usually won. Yeah, I don't know if I like a lot of back and forth. Yeah, I don't know if I really like that.
Just so stupid. Yeah, I'm glad that's over for sure. Free agency is popping open. Nobody's signed yet. I'm kind of surprised I don't have any deals. I guess that means that I think a lot of people had asked all along, are teams still going to talk trade? Are they going to back channel communicate with agents? And are we going to see a splash of deals as soon as the lockout is lifted? And we haven't so far, so that makes you think that a lot of people were
read that
focused.
it said that the phone calls were extremely fluid, and it said busy weekend. So I'm guessing they're going to start floating again tomorrow.
That's fine. You know what? Tomorrow's Friday. We don't have to worry about that. Everyone can kind of hang out. Look, we've got MAC conference championships this weekend. Akron and Kent State are going to play on Saturday. They both won tonight. Well, they have to play tomorrow and win tomorrow, but I'm predicting it now. Akron and Kent State on Saturday.
Yeah, it sounds like that. That definitely looks good.
But we've got conference tournaments the rest of the week, and then we got Selection Sunday. This is going to be perfect. We're going to have the craziest 72 hours of Major League Baseball offseason ever.
That's what I was telling
NCAA tournament.
I was talking to one of the people at work, and I said, you have the March Madness, and baseball is starting up later than usual, where free agency needs to be condensed, and so does spring training. And then baseball starts up, and then we go into hockey, basketball playoffs, and NFL draft. These next 8 weeks are the most condensed amount of sports stuff I've ever seen combined. Because usually you get all these things plus meaningless spring training games in March. Right now it's not meaningless. It's getting condensed. You got to figure out a lot of shit fast. And on top of signing players, which is just going to create more chaos in March and April than we already have. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, bring on the chaos for sure. What's up, Pat?
Nothing much. Chilling.
What's going on?
All right, we got Pat joining the show with us. We're going to talk some more free agency and some more CBA stuff. Pat, I got a comment about you the other day in an email on the site. Actually, I forgot to tell you this.
What was it?
Someone told me we got to let you talk more. You got to talk louder, but someone said we got to let you talk more. They like you. They want to hear your voice louder.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit of a conflict for me to do that because I don't want to blow nobody's speakers out or nothing.
I don't know. Somebody wants you to blow the speakers out, so go for it, man.
Maybe.
I know. I feel like we all think that the labor deal is still in favor of the Major League Baseball, but it feels like the players definitely started to claw some things back in their direction this round.
Yeah, for me, early on, I kind of had to realize it's going to take the players 4 to 5 CBAs, maybe 6 or 7, realistically, to fairly be compensated relative to the profitability of Major League Baseball. And that doesn't even include the minor leaguers, which is another issue in itself and a bigger issue and a more unethical issue. So I don't know. It was really easy for me to celebrate the MLBPA's victory and the small step they took, just because of, for me, this was a big deal just because this is the first CBA that I've followed in my lifetime, CBA negotiation, and it was really interesting. The amount of solidarity I saw from working class fans, from fans in general, about the labor this year, and plus with how honest the reporting was from certain people. Yeah, I was shocked in a very good way about how everything went. I really thought the players were gonna fold badly.
I did too. I figured they would have caved way before this. I think they could have tried to push the owners a little bit further up to the TV deal where the teams had to start paying back the networks for lost games.
I feel like if they went that far, then the owners would have really turned the PR up and got the proper McGannon machine.
For sure.
Working harder than Kris Jenner, because it was starting to take an effect on people for sure. Just it really was starting to wear on people. Especially I saw my followers, a lot of them were starting to get frustrated with the MLBPA and the PR tactics the owners and some of the writers are starting to deploy just to put pressure on and things like that. So it was really it's kind of crazy to kind of see those type of things in real time.
Not to mention the owners had the Apple TV deal and the Peacock streaming deal. That's more money coming in.
I didn't even know about the Peacock streaming deal until today. Because there was so much focus on Apple just because it's Apple and the amount of gravity that they have as a brand, that the Peacock deal kind of went over my head and definitely went over some other people's heads. Someone has said the MLB turned out their pockets and those two deals fell out of them.
Right. Like, oh yeah, I forgot we have this money coming in from all these random TV streaming deals. Great.
Yeah,
it's going to make it harder for fans to watch baseball, but there's more money in the sport again.
Yeah, and they got the big blackout issue, which kind of nullifies MLB TV. So,
yep. You said that you noticed how it probably would take like 6 or 7 CBAs for the players ever to be compensated, right? I don't know if that'll ever happen. For the simple fact is, owners are turning like 400% profit in 20 years of owning a team. So
there's no way for them to really catch up mathematically.
Never catch them. They're never going to catch them. They are going to continue to be super rich and never have to open up their books.
Yeah, just the amount of money that sports franchises accrue on a single year is just ridiculous, and I don't think people really comprehend it, and I really can't comprehend it just because it's an unsensible amount of money.
Yeah, it's one of those things where when they say, yeah, we don't want to open up our books because it is a propaganda machine. When you say, oh, we really don't make any money, but if you were to open it up and you're like, wow, these guys make a shit ton of money and their value goes from 323 million to 1.2 billion, they're not broke.
Yeah, and mind you, accounting laws, things like that allow big businesses, multinational corporations, billionaires, etc., this industry basically to write one thing as another thing, just because. So,
yeah, they kind of like coincide with each other too. So, if there's one corporation with another corporation and then another corporation, they're just making money in 3 different avenues, and you can't stop it.
I don't know how you're ever going to open their books. I did see today, not that I want to get political here, but I did see today someone tweeted that Bernie Sanders was going to introduce a bill to get rid of MLB's antitrust exemption. And I'm really curious to see how that goes because I think that was the next step for the players. But now Bernie Sanders is probably taking it on himself to do it. I don't know what's going to happen
issue
there.
Was bipartisan because they didn't want to put the MLB game in Atlanta.
Oh, that's right. Well, now I don't know. They're not going
to bipartisan
support it now.
Yeah, that was funny.
I just as a rule, I like my politicians to stay out of sports, considering our country is so fucked up to begin with. I don't think they need to waste their time on sports, even if these guys are ridiculously rich and need some sort of regulation. But we've got
politicians have shown plenty of times over the years, going back to the integration of baseball, that they don't need to touch baseball.
You think? Not the first time someone has threatened in politics to threaten their antitrust exemption, but
it happens like once a decade. So,
well, I mean,
if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be Bernie, right?
Absolutely. He's like the one guy that could probably push that through, and it probably won't happen in his own lifetime. But even look like when they do federal mediation can't do anything because they're in favor of the owners, because some of those owners also donate to the politicians who are working with the mediator. So you just can't do anything.
All of those owners.
Yeah.
Yeah, all 30, like for sure. Like, and mind you, the federal mediation is going to take the side of big business too. That's just what they do. I mean, for the most part, historically, federal mediation really does not care.
I'm just glad we didn't get that far,
like they say to. But we don't need to get that far.
I'm glad we didn't, because I was thinking, man, if this went any longer, I think that was the next step of the players, because the league was like, oh, we're at a deadlock. They wouldn't say the word impasse because that implies that they can't.
Federal mediation would be needed.
Right. So they didn't want to use the word impasse, but they were trying so hard to say, well, we've made our best offer. I don't know. I'm so glad to get that all behind us, honestly. I don't know. I think you missed the part about the rules, Pat. Did you get a chance to see any of the rule changes and other playoff stuff? What were your thoughts there?
They're putting the big harem on TV with banning the shift, but and nobody's gonna catch that memory TV meme except us. Oh my gosh. But I like the interleague play. I think that should have happened a long time. I think interleague play should happen every year. That was a big deal for me. Because I feel like letting teams only go against one half of the league and 1/3 of another league isn't really a good way to truly see who's the best team, in a sense, just because you're not playing 2/3, you're not playing 30.
Yeah, back to the balance schedule.
Whatever, yeah. The balance schedule is interesting. banning the shift is kind of dumb because it just shows that a lot of people conflate the shift with analytics, even though the shift was created to combat Ted Williams, and it's a very inherent part of baseball. And it's also, I think a lot of people conflate them banning the shift with the idea that majority of players now are either 3 true outcomes guys or have a pool oriented approach, which isn't the case because you have to be a pretty good player to have a pool oriented approach at the major league level and be successful, one way or another. So typically, I mean, that's all I really. That's it for real. Banning the universal DH I'm for because I felt like, if they were gonna have pitchers hit in the NL, then they should have kept it in the AL to begin with, honestly, and just keep that continuity. And actually let pitchers practice hitting in the minors too, just for those guys that might be two-way players.
You also had like 15 hitters a year losing a job because they had to watch some pitcher bat 89, and they could probably play 2 more years in the major leagues.
Hurting themselves.
Yeah, and for the DH types that still may be good when their body might not allow them in the field.
Exactly.
That hurts them too, and it's kind of unfair.
And it's still better for a baseball viewing aspect to see someone like, could be Edwin Encarnacion or David Ortiz hit than, like I said, any 5th starting pitcher, in the 4th inning. Just a better viewing aspect.
I'd rather see Julio Franco hit right now.
Right, and he probably.
And I'm pretty sure
Manny
Julio Franco
could probably hit.
Absolutely,
he could probably hit right now.
You get Manny Ramirez in the box right now, he could probably hit better than most pitchers.
I'll watch that in a heartbeat.
So I need that entertainment.
I'd bring Manny back.
I think. Go ahead, Justin.
Speaking of old bringing players back, remember how they let the steroid testing go off because of the end of the first CBA? Is that back now because the CBA is back? Because I'm like, well, you could bring back Manny Ramirez because he's they're no longer testing for steroids.
I don't know. I didn't hear anything about it.
I haven't heard that either. I'm sure they are, but
it has to be. Like, there's no way it's not.
I definitely believe, and he was talking about the balanced schedule. I'm huge in favor of that too, where I think people were getting tired of watching 60 to 80 games a year versus the White Sox, Royals, and Tigers. Like, you get a little more balance of the balanced schedule and saying, oh, we get to play the Padres. We haven't played them in 7 seasons. It's like one of those type of ordeals where, it's better to be doing something like that than watching us. That one year we played the Tigers 19 times and they were so bad. They had 2 wins against us or even 1 win against us. And that's just not good for baseball.
It's not.
I'm kind of bummed that's over because, how many years did Cleveland win the division because they were able to beat up on the terrible teams in the division?
That's fair. But it was also boring.
Who knows? We still have Jose Ramirez. We might still go 18-1 versus the Tigers.
Yeah, for sure.
At least the I don't know, the Royals or no, the Twins. The Twins are gonna be the worst team in the league now, or the division now. Even though last year I picked them to go to the World Series.
I was just gonna say that was your World Series pick.
Oh my gosh. I gotta redeem myself this year. That was a bad pick.
They had a very bad year last year. That was
just a little bit.
I had
that
Logan
Josh
Allen.
Donaldson contract was yikes.
Who saw that coming? Come on now.
I had the original Logan Allen as breakout pitcher of the year, so that was a bad pick by me.
You need a hug, man.
Oh yeah.
Should I bring up my predictions? I think mine's gonna be like.
I think you did pretty good. I don't know. I think you and Arthur did the best. I think for sure. I know Arthur did really good with his.
I had breakout hitter as Fran Mill, so I felt good about that one.
All right, that was cheating. Come on, we all knew.
I know, but no one wrote it down. I think that's one other person.
Yeah, I had a lot of bad picks. I have no interest in revisiting those. My picks were so bad, and they'll be bad again this year. I have no doubt. I don't know anything about baseball.
I can't even remember who my NL Rookie of the Year pick was, but he was horrible, and I know he only got 80 at bats, but
I think I picked Brian Hayes.
I think he played for the Braves. You did pick Brian Hayes. I remember that now. Can't remember who I picked from the Braves. Outfielder. Can't remember his name off the top of my head.
Christian Pache.
Yep. That's it.
He was never up. Man, I got to do better this year. I got to do way better. What else we got here? So 1 and 2 seeds we said a bye to the first round. That's I don't know. I'm indifferent. I'm like
a
I
bye
said,
in the first round is stupid. Who wants to not play baseball for a week?
I don't know. You get somebody
and try
healthy
playing
in
the
your team.
playoffs, like
no more game 163. That was my biggest. Spencer and I were talking about that was the biggest bummer. Is if there's a tie for any of the spots, they're just going to determine it some sort of like tiebreaker like the NFL instead of playing game 163. I love game 163s, putting that stuff on, but that's all gone. What do we think the Guardians are going to do now? That's what we got to get to is, okay, so what of this stuff affects the Guardians? Like we have the extra team in the playoffs. I think that for sure helps them. No matter what, 5. They don't have to try it. Yeah, no Rule 5 helps them for sure. By default, their payroll is going to go up because now the minimum is $700,000 instead of $525 or whatever. I did see that you can get draft picks now if you're one of your rookies finishes like top 3 in Rookie of the Year. So
that's if you have them called up though. That's if you have
on opening day. That's in the opening day roster. So if Stephen Kwan is on the opening day roster and he finishes top 3 in Rookie of the Year voting, Guardians get an extra draft pick. They love that. I'd be curious to see if that forces them to bring any rookies up.
Dodgers are going to have 3 players in the top 3 for Rookie Year voting for the next 3 years, I bet. No.
Oh, yeah. You'll have like Bobby Miller this year, Andy Pages next year, and then 2 years from now, it'll be like Eddie's Leonard or something.
Yeah.
That team at Great Lakes was the most ridiculous.
Everybody on that team should have been in Double A, and that is not hyperbole at all. Everybody on that team should have been in Double A last year. Like, it was stupid. Like, it looked
they were good though.
They were really, really good. That's my point. Everybody on that team should have been in Double A, or most of them. Like, it was crazy. It looked too easy. It was like watching Alabama try to play against the New York Giants.
Yeah, every year.
And that's another thing too. People think that college football teams can go against the worst NFL teams. Like, no.
Yes.
Oh, look at that. We got Joe out of his Arizona slumber to join us. Hello?
I've been working all day, man.
This is the first time I've been on a conversation with Joe. So, bonjour.
Oh, howdy.
You got a break from your iguanas to come join us?
No, I saw fish.
That's right,
just fish.
Took a break from selling fish.
Yeah. So what happened? I missed it all.
You missed it all. Oh man, you've missed everything.
Start the entire show over again, please.
We started the show over when Pat joined us. Jeez. Oh man, everyone's going like, all right, I'm not tuning in anymore. We're going back to square one. Documents got signed. Players are getting paid a little bit more. Let's see. Pitchers don't have to hit.
Oh, really? That's nice.
Yeah. What else did we say, guys? I forget. Other quick run throughs. Yeah. One more team makes the playoffs now in each league, and the Guardians don't have to try as hard because they
and they traded Jose Ramirez.
That hasn't happened yet. I don't follow Jim Bowden anymore, so I don't know, guys.
Blue Jays Twitter is begging for Jose Ramirez,
yeah.
And they think they're going to get him for a shoestring and a potato chip, and it's not going to happen.
I successfully convinced somebody earlier that we traded Jose Ramirez already, and they believed it.
I kind of love Twitter.
I sold someone.
I don't condone that type of behavior, but I understand. Like,
people, they believe what they want to believe. No, if Jose Ramirez is getting traded, Jim Bowden's gonna be the first to tweet it out because he's been writing stories about this for like 6 months. But I stopped following him.
Here's a funny thing: are we having spring training?
Yes, you have to be at work tomorrow to set up.
Okay, so the team shop already sent all the stuff back to Cleveland.
Oh, that's good to know.
all the new Guardian stuff and everything, because they've been open for like a month, 2 months now. They've been open at the team shop selling Guardians merch, and they already packed the truck up and sent it back to Cleveland.
How good did it
fun.
sell?
I don't know. My wife bought some stuff. That's about right.
So we know one person bought Guardians gear in Arizona. That's good.
Yeah, and also Stephanie Liscio was here this week, hoping that there'd be games because you got to plan these things in advance, and of course there weren't. But she bought a couple things, I think.
I mean, there's games. They're just taking place between a bunch of guys that have to be there because they don't have any bargaining rights.
Yeah.
And you're not allowed to go see those games.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't tried. I haven't had time to get down there. I feel like it'd be maybe worth sneaking around at some point.
I don't know. Someone who was just down there told me that they put a bunch of those green tarps up over the fences, so you can't even see into the fields now.
Ah, jeez.
Is that true? Have you seen those?
I haven't been by there. No, I should. I'll pass by and see what's.
Maybe
going
they'll
on.
take them down now that it's over. Maybe they'll say, okay, people can scout our games now. I don't know.
Acknowledge the existence of baseball players.
Yes. Oh, actually, there are guys playing here. I'm sorry, we didn't know that you wanted to watch this before, but if we know that you're interested, we'll take all of our signs down that are blocking this.
Maybe they just assume that we don't care about minor league baseball like they always do.
Hey, these guys got to pay to be there. Okay, they're paying for the experience. They're getting valuable experience. They have to pay for that. Otherwise, they wouldn't have a field to play on. No. This is the best thing, I thought. No runner on second base in extra innings.
Yeah, we were literally
cool.
the first team to lose with that rule, and that was so corny because that would happen to us.
That might be the worst rule in Major League Baseball history. Like I'm not even being
It doesn't make
over the
any
top
sense,
here.
especially to do it right.
Yeah.
Especially to do so right. I felt like doing it as soon as extra innings started was stupid. If you're gonna do it after like the 11th inning or something. If anything.
Well, I've always said I'd rather you just end the game in a tie like hockey, give them half a playoff point, than change the rules in extra innings. Never made any sense to me.
Ooh, I don't know how I feel about that. That would have been weird.
Like if you play 11 innings, just say the game ends after 11. If it's still tied, you just get a T instead of a W or an L.
That's very sensible. I mean, definitely, that's very sensible. It definitely helps with not burning out your whole pitching staff.
Yeah.
Just trying to win one game.
Yeah, and I mean, when you're there as a fan, you don't want to watch 17 innings generally.
I think the
Unless
goal
it's the
should be
playoffs.
to have it. Well, yeah. The goal should be not to have extra innings / overtime as bad as the NFL. Like automatically by default, you have to have a rule that makes you less stupid than the NFL.
I feel like the
should be the
NFL
goal.
rule isn't stupid though. I like that rule.
Really?
Yikes.
Explain yourself.
I mean, I really don't think it's as bad as people. I mean, for what?
The players don't even know that rule.
You talk
You
about
win on a
the
coin toss.
Yeah, you win the coin toss, you basically win.
Yeah, you have a good quarterback in a coin toss. It's yours.
Okay, fair enough.
Did
but
you
I
not
mean,
watch the Buffalo game?
I did watch the Buffalo game, but at the same time, I mean, I like the sudden death rule in football. I mean, it's stupid, but at the same, and it is quarterback bias, but at the same time, I feel like it's kind of exaggerated the success rate of the team that gets the ball first. Like, do we have any statistic that says like the team that gets the ball first overtime is going to win such and such time, or is this just that bad?
Good question.
You kids always want stats and you want proof. You want all this.
Oh, you want
always
to
proof for stuff.
If you want to start the age jokes, we can start the age jokes. It's nothing to me.
No.
It's nothing to me.
This has to be a new development for you because I feel like if you really like the NFL overtime rule, you would have tweeted about it, and I would have said something to you like you're crazy. So this must be a new thing. That's essentially what the runner on second base rule was in baseball, was it not? Like if you scored first, you won.
So
That's true.
in the playoffs, the person who won the coin toss in the last 11 playoff games won 90.9% of the time.
Okay, yeah, Lee. I almost said something else, but
Yeah.
Fair enough. I was wrong. The whippersnapper was wrong.
So you'll learn someday. You'll learn. No, the runner on second rule was really stupid. I think that was the same version.
That one is still worse.
I told Spencer, I said I didn't hate the 7-inning doubleheader thing. That wasn't the worst. I mean, we have those in the minors. I'm fine with going back to 9, but the 7-inning doubleheader wasn't like my least favorite thing ever.
How do you guys feel about robo umps? Because I absolutely hate it.
I don't care one way or the other, to be honest.
Yeah, that's kind of.
I feel like it gets rid of too important part of the game within the game to me with the framing and stuff like that. I also feel like with the amount of data and stuff we have now, there's a trend of people over criticizing umpires just kind of based on the reps of Joe West, Angel Hernandez, Diaz, and those guys, and just a general frustration that people have kind of with the old guard of umpires in general. And whose fault it is, I don't know. But at the same time, I feel like it's just a bit overstated to go as far as robo umps. That's just ridiculous to me.
No, I do like catchers. I enjoyed watching Roberto Perez catch. He couldn't hit.
Yeah, I feel like players like him should have a purpose in the game, because you get rid of framing, you pretty much getting rid of a large part of the sentence of a competent defensive catcher.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't believe I'm not a huge proponent of robo umps either, but sometimes you get those umpire reports and you see like 19 straight balls that are 2 inches outside that were called strikes by the same umpire, and you're like, damn, this kind of sucks.
Oh yeah, and then when it's a pouring game and happens to your team, and
you're like, man, this bleeping sucks.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been there before.
I also think there should be more cheating in baseball.
Joe has always advocated for more cheating.
I've been very consistent in my position.
You want to bring? I don't know if you missed. You must have joined right after this. I asked if do we think that now that the CBA is back in place, are they testing for steroids again? Because if not, then
steroids saved baseball once.
Do it again. Yep. I don't know. These players, I don't know if they're going to go for that this time. They already got mad about Spider Tack.
Yeah, at this point,
imagine Fernando Tatis Jr. on steroids? That'll be like baseball Lawrence Taylor.
Mike Trout's face would be fatter than even his.
Oh man.
I think Franmil Reyes does not need it.
No. He might have been able to swing a bat if he took it.
Yeah,
Franmil, a dude that large on steroids with those mood swings, no sir, he's a danger to everybody.
He couldn't have fans in the stands.
I don't know. We watched Albert Bell.
That's fair.
I don't know if Albert Bell was on steroids though. I don't know. I'm not sure I believe that.
No, I think he was a little too early.
Yeah,
it was kind of going through Texas in the mid, at least according to like Game of Shadows. I think it was hitting Texas in the mid 90s, early 90s. It didn't hit Cleveland until mid 2000s.
Really?
Well, yeah, because they had like Juan Gonzalez. I think he was like one of the big proponents of bringing it around everywhere. And then they had Betancourt get hit in 2007, somewhere around there.
Rafael Betancourt?
Yeah.
Well, it could have been 07 because he was their best reliever that year. But it would have
been a couple years later. You gonna make me actually research things?
I don't know. Sometimes I feel like you just say things to see
what everybody
says.
You got to on Twitter. I don't do that in real life though.
I make stuff every minute of every day.
Yeah, what did you tweet the other day, Joe? You're like, bring back the Cleveland Infants, and then you said something else, and you're like, that tweet didn't do numbers.
That was the best tweet ever, and absolutely no attention for that, and it's really bugged me. 2019. My bad.
I'm mad at my tweet that said that in my class issue that threw a 102 mile per hour tomato at Rob Manfred didn't go platinum.
I don't think I even saw that one. Otherwise, I definitely would have.
Nice. But no one knows who the Infants are, right? Does anyone know?
You're on your own.
Yeah, I think you're on your own.
Okay, so in 1891, they I'm going to make sure the year is right. But the players got into an argument with the ownership, and they decided to create their own league.
Barnstorming, okay.
Yeah, well, no, they just created a whole baseball league, and the team was called the Cleveland Infants, and they had a full it was like half of the Spiders guys. They just jumped right over there, and so essentially, my theory was, if all the money is in the franchise or in the TV watching anyway, these guys have all the power. They could have just went to let's say the defunct stadiums from the New York Penn League or something like that, and just put the games out on YouTube and made money for a while, just playing each other.
I have a counter for that. Nobody wants to play baseball in Youngstown.
Yeah.
You think MLB players want to be in Youngstown, Ohio?
No, but I mean, you could do it anywhere.
The minor leaguers didn't want to be there.
Existing.
Exactly. Like when I told somebody who played at Mahoney Valley that I'm from Youngstown, they're like, oh, you ain't gotta say less, say no more. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was 1890. Sorry.
That might have worked back then.
Wow.
Yeah, and Jimmy McAleer was on that team. Hall of Famer.
Oh, really? Okay. Are we? Should we look to see if you're making that up?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
Patsy Tebow, Ed Delahanty, Cub Stricker. That's a good team.
Are we talking about the Cleveland Infants team still?
Yeah, the Cleveland Infants, 1890.
Say some of those names again, please.
Jimmy McAleer is the Hall of Famer. Patsy Tebow, Ed Delahanty, Cub Stricker.
Cub Stricker.
Yeah.
Pat's about to go look all these up. Pat's like, I'm fact checking Joe right now.
The Boston Reds won the league. Interesting. I didn't remember that. I'm looking it up myself now. They went 81-48. The Infants went 55-75. The next year they brought him back in. My favorite thing about the story is that Charles Comiskey was like one of the big guys organizing the players, to fight for higher wages. And then 20 years later, he was the guy that essentially caused the Black Sox scandal because he wouldn't pay his players enough. So he went from being the good guy on the players' side to being the owner and everyone hating him.
See what happens?
It was about 30 years difference.
Yeah.
You either die a hero or live long enough to become the villain.
Exactly.
I feel like that quote is always true.
Shout out my beautiful dark twisted fantasy.
Nothing's happened yet. I'm really disappointed. I was really thinking we were going to come on here and just gonna to BS and then be like, oh man, this guy signed Freddie Freeman's a Yankee or something stupid.
Yeah,
nothing has happened.
I'm so appalled by the lack of movement so far in free agency.
I got a breaking news for you.
Oh no. Okay.
It was 2005 when Rafael Betancourt tested positive. So it was actually 2 years before that.
I was just gonna say it. Juan Gonzalez had the best Cleveland Indians season in 2005.
Yeah. So
no. That was 01.
Yeah, it was 2001.
Okay. I was kidding.
Oh yeah.
The best season is because
I gotcha.
He pulled his hamstring and that made them call Grady Sizemore.
One at bat.
You are right. You are right. That injury made them call Grady Sizemore. So you're right. That is a great season for him.
I remember because they kept leading it up, and they're like, "Oh, he's back." Takes one at bat, walks out of the batter's box. Season over.
And then the next day we had Grady Sizemore, and things were never the same.
God, that was so funny.
That was a good at bat. It was in Minnesota. I remember that. I don't know. Is the big story today?
The Kevin Hart meme is just playing in my head while you guys were recalling that.
What meme is that? Do I even want to know? It's probably something calling us old.
Damn, when he was when he was how old he was.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Is the biggest story today the CBA being signed, the lockout being over, or is the bigger story that Jeff Passan's Twitter account got hacked during all this?
That was so funny.
That was staged. That was staged.
I can't believe out of all days and all the things
that was staged. That was on purpose. There's no way that wasn't scripted. Roger Goodell.
Do you think that's like some new
Roger
MLB
Goodell's
partner?
influence is bleeding over in the Major League Baseball, and it's disgusting.
I saw this happen in real time. Like I have TweetDeck up like all day, and someone tweeted, "Why did Jeff Passan just lock his account?" And I'm like, "Oh, he did. That's weird." And then 30 seconds later, I look back and I'm like, "Oh, that's why. That's weird."
When I saw the NFTs, I just let out a deep, like heavy sigh, like because it had to be an NFT, bros. Like, right?
Of course it was.
So I think today confirmed that I have no interest.
What happened to the teenager that just wants to cuss on a verified account, man? Drop some memes. like we did back in the day.
Yeah, that's what you would do if you hack somebody's account now. You would just tweet terrible jokes and
NFT links. Yeah. No, he didn't even give us no insider information. Like, he had all those DMs right there, and you fumbled the ball.
Oh, that's true.
I would have screenshot everything in there, man. All these literally, juicy rumors.
Just literally, I would have put my phone on screen record and just scrolled and
fucking robot that jacked his Twitter account missed out on a great opportunity.
Goofy, because you wanted NFT profits. Goofy.
Like I said, I think all that confirmed that I have no interest in learning what an NFT is or caring about it ever. Does anybody here like NFTs or know what an NFT is?
No.
It's a non-fungible token. No?
Define non-fungible. It means it has no value?
It's not real. It doesn't exist.
It's a Fugazi.
Yes.
The principle makes sense. The idea that you could, like, if you use it in copyrights, it would make more sense, but that's not how it works, because you can just right click on something and save the image. So you don't really own that.
So it doesn't exist, but people are paying like lots of money for it.
Yeah, it's a fake market.
Why does it sound
gambling?
Yeah, why does it sound like people who bought CDs when you could just illegally download it on LimeWire? Like, you could just right click and save, but people are paying for it.
This has got to be like in 20 years, it's going to be a Ponzi scheme, right?
It already is.
I mean,
yeah.
It already is.
Yeah, somehow people are hacking into people's Twitter accounts just to tweet that stuff out.
I found it hilarious. I hate NFTs. I mean, it's not funny.
But that was hilarious. I mean,
it's
of all days for it to happen,
just to capture the uselessness of and the nuisance that NFTs are, on top of the negative environmental impact that they have on top of our crypto. But that's a whole another thing in itself, because MLB Twitter is full of crypto bros. Whoever
hacked this, I'm thinking it couldn't have been a bot, because they had to be following what was going on. They had to know today was probably the biggest day of the offseason concerning the labor market, and everybody was going to be following his account. Like, they had to know
maybe
today was the right day to do it, right? They could have done this all winter, like when Jeff Passan was tweeting nothing for days and weeks when there was no negotiations going on. They could have done it whenever. They chose to do it today.
Just makes me think more like Pat and think it was all a coy, and it was actually planned.
Well, somebody planned it. I don't know if Jeff Passan planned it, but
he's actually really online. I listened to him in a couple of interviews, and others. I mean, he actually, he memes and everything else. So he could actually.
He has a burner account out here in these trenches.
For sure. He's the most online out of the old farts that are in Baseball Writers.
I mean, he is the only national baseball writer I get notifications for on my phone.
Yeah,
I used to get Ken's, but I stopped that a while ago.
His roast skills are a little bit overrated, but
he's the only one I trust. And then, so it was like, he's the only guy I trust to tweet anything about this. And then
NFT stuff happens.
Then we could no longer trust him for a while. That was devastating. The only rumor we got cooking is that the Dodgers are in on Freddie Freeman. I will say this: if Freddie Freeman goes to the Dodgers, that makes it very less likely that Cleveland has any shot at trading for Matt Olson. I think if the Braves are going to be in on that right away.
Well, I have breaking news from 17 minutes ago.
Yes.
Yep. Clark Scolamiero has voluntarily retired. I got that from Guardians Baseball Insider's retweet.
It sounds like they know what they're talking about. Yeah, when they retweet stuff. That's good.
I'm sleepy.
Yes, a minor leaguer that like nobody on outside of this podcast has heard of has retired.
Yeah, I had to look because I thought he was gone already. So no, he was on my last list. So
would have been a good year for him if the lockout continued and they had to have minor leaguer no 40-man players in the minors. He would have had some playing time, but the lockout ended, and he's like, "Yeah, I guess
that's a good point." I mean, like we really missed out a chance of having Jonky in the big leagues this year. Oh wait, he's on the 40-man, isn't he?
He is on the 40-man.
That's terrible.
He was going nowhere fast.
That's a good thing. Yep, it's a good thing they ended it.
Mm-hmm.
We got to get Jonky up to the big leagues.
I mean, Bobby Bradley's on thin ice. He's out of options. This is it.
Wait, did you talk about the lack of a Rule 5 draft?
Oh, no, we didn't. That's a good point. Lack of a Rule 5.
I did see that. Like, does that make every article we've written over the last 3 years useless?
Basically.
Yes. That steals a huge chunk of our business. And I know JJ. Yeah, like I think we nerded out over the minor league portion of that, but yeah, now we don't have that. You're right. That takes away a big chunk of our Twitter account. That's rude. I don't think the players like the Rule 5 draft is good for minor leaguers because it gives them a better shot at major league jobs. But do you think like Joey Cantilla, who's been in Guardians camp for like 2 weeks now, do you think like a week from today he's like, oh, I guess I'm going to Baltimore now, or I'm going to Florida to join Baltimore spring training? Like, I don't think he'd appreciate that.
Does it matter? Did it ever matter what they cared about?
Oh well, yeah. Nobody cares, but especially the teams. But I mean, it's good. I guess it's good for. I mean, saying that the players missed out on big league job opportunities stinks. But I'm pretty sure if I'm like spending 2 weeks in this camp and they're like, oh, actually, you got to fly to Florida now and join the Orioles camp. Like, I don't know. I would rather just stay in Arizona.
I mean, it still could happen.
Don't they get a like a $20,000 pay raise if they get selected in the Rule 5 draft or something like that?
Well, they're paid something.
You have to be on the 40-man, so that's like $450,000.
Oh, you get not anymore. The 40-man. Well, he'd be on the big league 40-man. That's $700,000 now.
What is it?
We 700? Know. As of the new CBA, the lowest paid player on the team is paid $700,000.
Well, is that 25-man? I'm using old numbers.
That's 25-man roster.
That's 25-man, not 40. Because 40 used to be.
Okay, but if you pick the Rule 5 draft, you have to be on the 26.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
26.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's a significant raise because you're talking about like 30,000 to 700,000.
Okay, so guys on the 40-man, but not on the 26-man, make 30,000. No,
it's more.
There's a bump for that too. Yeah. We don't have the details on that, but they got a bump too. It sounds like.
There's always been a significant one, and you start running through options, so that has some value in it as well.
Oh, so they get compensated for that as well.
Well, I mean, it just means you have to make it to the big leagues, or
they'll lose you.
Allowed to go somewhere else. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
They limited options too. To
5.
Yeah. You still have 3 option years, but now you can only be sent up and down 5 times. That's good for the players.
In one season,
like Daniel.
In one season.
5 times in a single season. If Daniel Johnson was still in the 40, he'd be thrilled because how many times did we do that with Daniel Johnson last year?
Yeah, that's usually only 1 or 2 guys.
That was crazy, but at the same time, it'll be interesting to see how teams how teams go about using their 5 options for a player. Like, are teams gonna just use 3 and not use the other 2 unless they really have to, or are you going to see teams just kind of fly through 5 for some insignificant guy?
Yeah, I wonder if you maybe see more older guys just get signed and released. Just because they don't really care about him. It's like instead of filling this roster spot with a younger dude, let's fill it with a 30-year-old who, just is looking for a place to play, and then dump him as soon as he's done with.
I think the union would like that because that's more middle tier free agents getting job opportunities.
All right.
If we've learned anything about the union the last several years, is they really, for the most part, do not give a crap about the younger players. This is the first time they've really fought for younger players. But yeah,
Yeah, it's so amazing that these guys forget their 7-year trek through the minors the second they hit the big leagues. They just not all of them,
Right.
but almost universally, they just are like, oh, that never happened.
Well, I mean, when you look at the norms of the sport, you kind of got to be indoctrinated to that way to even make it in a sense. Like I remember Adam Eaton saying, "Why pay minor leaguers more? They're gonna be complacent, things like that," and that's just indoctrination, if anything.
Mm-hmm.
Who? Well, a lot of former players. There was some idiot former player on Twitter who keeps going on about this. Is it Kyle Farnsworth? Who's like, man, I went through it. You have to go through it.
And
Yeah, I've always hated that.
Yeah, and that kind of bleeds over into journalism too. Especially when you're trying to get in the door, and it's really problematic because you got it's crazy. And then that's
working hard's fine. Nobody's saying you shouldn't work hard, but
right. Yeah,
I don't know.
if I had to go through it, you got to go through it too thing, and not to mention in the minor leagues, you got to think about some guy who's drafted in 21st round and other guy who's drafted in 21st round who come from very different backgrounds, and one may have a family that can support them and things like that. One may not. That's another thing right there. Just the class issue of support for minor leaguers. Like that's how that shows up there. Like, yeah, I mean, some of that comes from a affluent family or a family that has that can be able to support them. They can put more time into it. So I mean, that changes who makes it to the majors, who might make it to majors, and who doesn't in itself.
I tried to look up Kyle Farnsworth when Justin was talking about, and instead I found that he criticized Trey Mancini for taking a day off due to general soreness after battling colon cancer. So he's a huge douchebag.
Oh, that was good. All right, well, at least we have exposed Kyle Farnsworth. That's good.
Yeah, and Adam Eaton's also a stand-up guy as well.
Well, we know that from last year after that whole fight with Andres Jimenez.
So I come to from a baseball news.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole paying your dues thing is really weird. Like Spencer, how many times I tell you how many Red Bulls did I buy for people at 92.3 as an intern? Like how often did you have to go refill somebody's parking meter for somebody at ESPN? Like that was your job as an intern, not to learn about radio and be on the radio, but
I remember
there to fill someone's parking meter.
I remember I was when I was working at 970, I got tickets to LeBron's return when he left to Miami, and it was like a gift from like doing my internship. And I got home at like 3 a.m. because traffic was so bad. And then my boss calls me at like 5:58 saying, "Why is there no recap on the website page?" I'm like, "Well, dude, I got home 3 hours ago. I mean, I'll type it up in like 2 more hours. Like you don't pay me anything. I'm doing this for free." Well, yeah.
But you went through it, so somebody else has to do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, somebody else has to do the same thing.
Yeah.
At least he was asking you to write. My job.
Don't want people.
my job at night.
Especially
yourself. That's exactly. Yeah.
You're not allowed to be
on the air.
Nice. I want to hear all the horror stories of all the terrible things I did to Justin over the last.
There's a reason I left, Joe. No, I'm kidding. All the horrible things made me go to games, and he made me meet up with everybody at a Indians game once, and
yeah, we did that.
Made me talk to him every Sunday night for a podcast.
I got Zach Meisel to tweet the Wire meme today.
I saw that.
I
had to look up where that came from, though. I have not watched The Wire.
Greatest TV show in history of greatest TV show ever.
That first season, I think about that once a week.
I do like Wendell Pierce. I should watch that.
I'm a season 2 advocate.
Season 2 is solid too.
I love season 2. For me as a writer, I love the way it kind of sets up that world and everything like that, and the way it built it, and kind of it took a step back and kind of it denied itself the immediate gratification. And for me as a someone who wants to do that, that's so hard to do, and to do it so well is ridiculous. I mean, it's kind of mind-boggling how much I've learned about writing from that show. just by watching it.
TV show.
I'll put it on my list for next offseason. Now that baseball started, I don't have time for these shows.
Yeah, I mean, no, like seriously, The Wire will take over. It's that good of a show. Like it's an all-time great TV show, literally. Like
I'm trying to think the last non-sports show I watched. Well, okay. I watched Love Is Island with my girlfriend. Or Love Is Blind. I had to watch that with my girlfriend. That was the last thing that wasn't baseball related that I watched. Or sports related, I should say. Not quite as good as the writing as The Wire, but I hear the editing is good. There's still seriously no rumors. I really thought we were going to jump on here. We're going to go through all these rumors. This is really annoying.
Do we hear anything about vending machines at all, and if the players have to play for those?
The players got to pay for their own soda in the clubhouse. I don't know.
I think that's fair.
At work, that whole period where they were talking about how meal money for the players, the per diem, was supposed to be towards the luxury tax. Like that was the most Moneyball thing ever. Like this is literally what they put in the movie. That is the dumbest thing. Are the owners so like not self-aware that they did that?
probably.
Like, do you become a billionaire and then you just completely lose your self-awareness as a person? Like, I have money now, so I
mean,
don't need
considering that most wealth is inherited, I mean, it's probably genetic.
That's true.
At this point.
That's true. One of the things that Spencer and I did say before everybody else came on, we were saying all these billionaires, like nobody either inherit it or you just fuck somebody over or a lot of people over. That's the only way you make that kind of money.
Yeah, you didn't do it from charity work.
Yeah.
No. These owners, they're so generous. All right, so the only thing we really came up with so far as moves is that if Freddie Freeman goes to the Dodgers, I don't know if Cleveland has any shot to trade for Matt Olson, but if they did, I think if Freddie Freeman goes to the Dodgers, Matt Olson's going to the Braves and Cleveland's out on Matt Olson.
Who would you give up for Matt Olson?
Ooh. All right, he's only got 2 years of control left, so I feel like Daniel Espino and George Valera have to be out. Like, I feel like for a player with 2 years of control, you have to eliminate those two guys, right?
So you think Valera's so you have Valera over everybody else in the position player group right now. That makes sense.
Yeah. You got to trade one of the shortstops, right? So Rocchio or Arias or I don't think Oakland wants Andres Gimenez. I think they want someone who hasn't any service time yet. So I'm saying Rocchio or Arias, one of those two for the start. Maybe Nolan Jones because he really doesn't have a home here right now.
And Mark Canha left.
Yeah, they lost Mark Canha, so there you go. There's another guy you can give to them to play out. And they're going to trade Matt Chapman too, so he can fill the void in the outfield. I don't know, Tanner Burns. I feel like Tanner Burns would be attractive to the Oakland A's.
Logan Allen.
Yeah. So, what's that?
Logan Allen, the second.
I'm not sure. I'm not trading Logan Allen 2.0. No. There's not a lot of guys I would trade him for.
I guess, but okay.
No, I like Logan Allen. I
do too, but I mean, I think he's a solid number 5, and I know in Cleveland that means he's going to wind up being a 3 or better. But
give him.
We have so many pitchers.
Yeah. I don't know. I would still. I love Cody Morris. I'd give him Cody Morris still though for Matt Olson. Morris,
Austin
one of the
Meadows
shortstops.
Austin Meadows would be a good trade target, especially since Tampa Bay wants to move him.
It sounds like Tampa Bay wants to move him. Who would you guys give up for Matt Olson? Anybody?
I think I would build a prospect package around Tyler Freeman.
Yeah, Tyler Freeman seems like an ace prospect. I agree. Spencer, what about you?
Yeah, I don't hate that at all.
That seems like a
log jam in the middle of the infield. That's fine.
Joe, what about you? Do you have anybody you would trade for Matt Olson?
It's Clark Scolamiero on the table.
I mean, he's not busy doing anything. Sure.
No, I will say of those, I've been pretty adamant since we've been doing prospect rankings and everything that I like Tyler Freeman as a starter in the big leagues in the future. So you obviously want to deal from the middle infield position. It's like miles ahead of every other position in the Guardians system. So like literally almost anyone else, Arias, if you want to do Rocchio, I really do like Rocchio as well, but somewhere in that line.
Jose Tena.
Yeah,
like Arias.
Tena is completely expendable to me.
I feel like he doesn't have enough value yet, though. I think he's somebody who he's not a headliner in this kind of deal for sure. I don't know what it would take to get Austin Meadows. He's got 3 years left. Tampa Bay is weird, although we've made a ton of deals with Tampa Bay over the last couple of years
and lost every single one of them.
No, that's not. Well, okay. the Peyton Battenfield one, that's going to be Cleveland. They gave him Jordan Luplow. What do you guys think it takes to get Austin Meadows? Does everybody agree Austin Meadows would be a great upgrade too? Like, automatically, is that a guy you would target in the next couple of days?
I mean, yeah, I would. I'd throw him in right field for sure.
I like good baseball players.
Really? Is that a good thing to have? Is guys who are good at baseball?
That's the idea.
I don't know. You could convince me that the Orioles don't really like good baseball players, and I would refute you on that.
Too busy watching The Wire.
Takes place in Baltimore.
That was the
Oh.
joke.
I'll explain to Justin. It just
Whatever, man. I just assumed you were like, okay, they're watching The Wire. They don't care about baseball. I didn't realize it took place in Baltimore. There you go.
yeah, and they make a lot of references to the Orioles throughout the series too. So
that would have been back when they were probably good too.
The show came out in the late 90s, early 2000s.
When were they good? Brady Anderson?
The late 90s when they literally faced Cleveland in 97 ALCS.
No, the show started in like 99, 2000 and went to like
and they lost
or something. And they were awful then, so allegedly. I don't know, I was too young. I was a toddler then.
Okay, good for you, Pat. Good for you.
I was a big fan of Chris Hoyle.
That pain and misery. Chris Hoyle.
I was born after Barry Bonds started to get big.
Mike Bordick. I like Mike Bordick.
Oh, that's too late.
Really?
Yeah, Chris Hoyle's retired in 1998.
Oh, jeez.
He was their backup catcher. Well, I guess I looked him up. So he did start a bit, but he was on the Orioles from 89 to 98. Never played for any other teams.
Lenny Webster?
Not familiar.
Tony Batista.
That's one of my favorites ever. Tony Batista
like,
went to
batting like this.
Absolutely, and he went
like
to
batting stance.
I feel like he went to South Korea and just dominated, but it might have been Japan. Now I gotta look at Tony Batista.
Oh my God. This has gone way off the grid here. I did not expect it to go this way.
I could probably talk about for an hour.
Why'd you invite me?
Batting stance.
I know. I really shouldn't have invited Joe. Joe always throws us off track.
Japanese. My bad.
Okay. I don't know who else is out there. Okay, I'm pretty sure Cleveland. I know. There's a lot of people who are trying to speak this into existence, but I don't think Cleveland signed Michael Conforto. I just don't.
27 home runs in 135 games in 2005. How about that?
Are we still on Tony Batista?
Yeah, with the Fukuoka Daiei Hawks. Looks like.
You know what I want? You know what I want out of baseball? I want a true World Series. I want the Major League Baseball champion and the Korean and the KBO champion to play each other. I want the Japanese leagues too.
Why not have like the Caribbean series where you have all the teams from all the pro leagues?
Yeah, the problem is if you had everybody playing for their the World Baseball Classic
It would just be it would be.
Was the idea of that? But you really want all the Dominican players to go play for the Dominican Republic, or you want?
No, I want the best
teams.
I want the best team in Major League Baseball.
Yeah, so they're going to win every time because they pay more. Yeah, the best players in Japan want to come to America because they get paid more.
Which is sad because we were just talking today about how, well, I guess that tier of players doesn't count, but
what's Ohtani make?
That's fair. League minimum.
Does he?
Yes, no, this is his last pre-arb year.
He makes $4.5 million. That's not terrible.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, how did I miss that? I thought he was still pre-arb.
Oh, 5.5 million. He made $3 million last year.
Okay, I stand corrected. Damn it!
I have the internet.
You know, it's not going. When Joe corrects me, it's things are not going good. It's not good when Joe corrects me on things. Oh man. Okay, so I don't think Michael Conforto's happening for Cleveland. What about Kyle Schwarber? I could live with Kyle Schwarber in at first base and left field.
Kyle Schwarber's a lefty bat, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't see why not. They're gonna find some lefty with power that can cheat with that short portion in right field. So why not the best one or one of the best?
Can we forgive him though? Can we forgive him for 2016 though?
I would like to see what he did against us for us. I mean, that man cooked us with a raw ACL, like a brand new ACL, like he was test driving it around the bases when he was up here. Like that was crazy.
Spencer, has the wound healed? Can you accept Kyle Schwarber?
Yeah, that was 6 years ago. It's fine.
Yeah, I can't remember what happened yesterday.
That was 6 years ago. Wow.
Yeah. Also, my buddy, he was from Mason, Ohio. He went to Kent, and he played, I believe, like summer ball for like Schwarber and Benintendi. Said they were good dudes. So I don't hate him. He's fine.
I think we can. If you come back and as good as he was last year, if he comes here and does that, I feel like you can probably overlook that.
For sure.
Yeah, I would accept Kyle Schwarber in left field. The only thing bringing Kyle Schwarber in does is it pushes Stephen Kwan back to AAA, which I guess is fine at first.
This is going to be messed up, and Rogelio is going to be happy about this. But I want Carlos Correa to go to the Tigers just because I like what the Rangers did with that all-star middle infield duo, and I want to see the Tigers do that just because I feel like Carlos Correa, Javi Baez middle infield would really help baseball.
That would be fun to watch. I'm not scared if I'm in Cleveland. I'm not really too scared of Javi Baez's contract.
I'm not either. I mean, yeah, it's gonna be funny watching him and his play style age.
I don't think defensively it'll be a problem, but his bat is not going to age well.
What do you mean?
That approach never ages well. It's going to be great for Cleveland pitchers. Hey, Cleveland dominated him in the World Series. He was terrible in the World Series against Cleveland.
Hey, Javi Baez walked like 6 times last year. How dare you?
That's about as much as I walk in one day. That's good. Yeah, that would be fun. No, I agree. Carlos Correa in Detroit would be a lot of fun. I saw someone saying earlier that he was going to go to the Yankees, and I'm like, I don't buy it. I think the Yankees like. The
Yankees care too much under Hal Steinbrenner. Not the same roots as the Yankees they were under George. George was built different. Hal isn't that same guy. I can feel it, and my dad's a huge Yankees fan who grew up in New Jersey in the 70s, 80s, and he says it all the time.
I think of every terrible pitcher they signed a huge contract when I was growing up.
Kevin Brown,
Carl Pavano.
I was just gonna say Carl Pavano, who ruptured his spleen shoveling snow in Minnesota.
I can't remember whose autobiography I was reading, but apparently he was a huge D-bag also.
I can see that. Carl Pavano?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. Kevin Brown, I could see too.
4 years, $40 million in 2004, which is
Jarrett Wright worked out really good for the Yankees, right?
Yeah.
We need billionaires
That's
like
who are these people?
Steinbrenner.
That's like, who's Jarrett Wright?
I don't know, some 300-pound dude.
Jarrett Wright was he one of the first guys to build a plane? Is that one of the Wright brothers?
Yeah.
No, I thought Jarrett Wright was one of the ones who put together a gentleman's agreement to ban black players back in the 1890s.
It sounds like someone who would. He was on the Black Sox.
Got a handlebar mustache.
My Jarrett Wright brother is Bartolo Colon. So.
It's the same person.
Yeah. They're twins.
Jarrett Wright is a Korean War veteran.
Oh, man.
I can't say that joke. I'm not going to say what I was going to say.
Is this a reference, a TV show reference that I missed again?
No, I was gonna make another segregation joke, but it was a little bit out of pocket.
Oh my god!
Anything to make Dustin uncomfortable, I'm okay with.
Do it, Pat. Do it.
Nah, I'm good. I'm good.
We have currently nobody listening to the live stream. If they're coming back and listening to this on the podcast, so you're free right now to do it.
I'm good.
He gave up his first season with the Yankees at 29 years old. He was giving up almost 12 hits per 9 innings. His whip was like 2.
That's crazy.
That was nice of him.
That's what ended a career. His whiplash was what ended his career.
A two whip in Yankee Stadium should be like 4 just off the strength, especially with old Yankee Stadium. Like that should, like he should have his stats just like exponized by 2 just off the strength.
He was god awful by the time he got to New York. He was cooked. He was done.
You mean by 1999?
Yeah, his elbow was completely fried before he left Cleveland. It's very, very good. Cleveland never traded him for Pedro Martinez, because that would have been.
Yeah,
you know, Pedro Martinez asked to get traded to the Yankees like 3 times when he was with the Expos and Dodgers.
What?
Yeah, he begged to get traded to the Yankees multiple times.
Yeah, because there's daddy.
I'm glad he didn't.
Yeah, there's favorite.
Yankees are my daddy.
He wanted to go play for his father.
Hey, Don Zimmer is not Pedro Martinez's father, okay?
Oh man. Too soon.
I love that moment.
I've got a framed picture, not of that one. I've got a framed picture I saw at a flea market years ago. I don't know what made me buy it, but it was Jason Varitek and Alex Rodriguez fighting at home plate. I don't know why I bought it. It just looked cool. It just made me think of that. I don't know. I just bought it for no reason. Here's another off the wall.
You slapped that man down. He was a bag of ice on Connery. Oh man, that was crazy. On national TV.
Wait, let me see if Pat can hear this.
No.
Can you hear that or no?
Nope.
No, sorry.
What was it?
No, it's Pedro Martinez saying the Yankees are my daddy.
I'll find that audio. I'll add it in later.
I'll find the audio.
What about? All right, we said Austin Meadows. We said Matt Olson. I don't think either. Well, maybe Austin Meadows happens. I don't know about Kyle Schwarber. I tweeted earlier Josh Bell. I think that's one that could happen.
Hey, he switched it, so Cleveland likes him.
Like I know that's not like a really like, oh wow, let's get excited over Josh freaking Bell after all these months, but I feel like that's a realistic move Cleveland can make.
Actually sounds like a Cleveland move.
Josh Bell, he's got 2 years, so he's got 2 years of control left. He is a free agent at the end of 22. This is it.
Heimer is going to see a 6'4" black man with dreads in the clubhouse and call the police.
Oh my god! Oh, So what? Tristan McKenzie's too skinny. He's not afraid.
Yeah, he's too skinny.
Josh Bell has literally 100 pounds on Tristan McKenzie.
I think 100 is probably being kind. Josh Bell is listed at 255. Tristan McKenzie's what? Listed at 220? 200? No. Tristan McKenzie's listed at
165.
Yeah, there's no way. I was going to say, there's no way he's in the twos.
There's no way.
He's probably still one. You're right. It's 100 pounds. McKenzie's probably still 155.
Yeah, so it's 100 pounds.
No, I say McKenzie's like 170, 175. There's no way I weigh more than him.
And reporters are allowed back in the locker room, so you're right. He's going to go over there and not say a damn word. I don't know. I kind of like the idea of Josh Bell. He's only got 1 year left, actually. I lied. So he can be a free agent at the end of next year. Gives him some cover for Bobby Bradley. If Bobby Bradley stinks this year, you can put him at first. Oh, here we go. What do you care? You want to see Noel play first base next year, so you don't care about Bobby Bradley.
Not this year.
That's what I said. Next year.
Next year, maybe.
So I don't know why you care.
I don't. Not even a little.
So what? Are you? And Josh Bell wouldn't be here next year because he's a free agent at the end of the year.
There you
go. Josh Bell until Noel.
I believe in supporting the youth.
So what? You don't want the team to make any moves?
No.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's tanking time.
Just going to waste the last year of Jose Ramirez's career in Cleveland.
Did they change any of those rules?
Tanking
rules? Yeah.
If you want to call a draft lottery for only the top 6 picks anti-tanking, then
yeah, I do.
Why? That doesn't do anything for anybody.
What do you mean? Did they add that?
It's the top 6 picks. That's it. If in the lottery. So if you have the worst record, then you could pick first or 6th. What's the difference?
Okay. If you don't think it's the difference, you're the one that does all the draft research. I don't pay attention until they're on the franchise.
Right, but you've seen guys picked in like the 10th round be good.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And guys in the first round suck. In fact, Cleveland has had a history of the worst first round picks.
No, I mean the funny thing about the tanking stuff is I remember from the Pirates a couple of years ago that they were making so much money losing that there was no point in them trying to win. You remember that?
What year?
It would have been 2010s, but it was over a decade where they were just terrible. And then it came out that essentially they were making more money by being terrible than they would have if they had tried to win. So they just kept trying to lose. Or it wasn't that they were trying to lose, it's just that they didn't care.
Well, that's like all of baseball.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You make more money when you suck.
Yeah, so just don't care.
You strip your payroll.
I mean, at least they weren't one of the 4 teams that declined this round. The Mets, Yankees, and Astros. And I think there was one of those. Cardinals. Yeah, there you go. At least they weren't on that list.
Who is the best first round pick for Cleveland in the last decade though? Like seriously.
Lindor.
Yeah. McKenzie.
That's it. Okay. Who's number 2?
McKenzie was a first
Tyler
round
Naquin?
pick. He was a compensation pick.
Okay, so if McKenzie's number 2, that's a big gap from Francisco Lindor to Tristan McKenzie.
I don't have my draft documents in front of me here.
It's probably Tyler.
Okay,
Naquin.
Tyler Naquin,
which is kind of worse.
Bradley Zimmer. Spencer, aren't you excited to watch Bradley Zimmer?
I'm so excited again? For him to hit a 500-foot home run once a month.
Once every 2 months.
That seems like, I was going to say, that seems a little excessive.
Spencer's like, all right, bring the lockout back. I really actually don't
want to actually, you know what? CBA sounds terrible. Go back to the table.
Oh, man. Put me in some.
I do not need to watch Bradley Zimmer. Yeah, they have to make some moves because right now Bradley Zimmer is slated to be the right fielder and Stephen Kwan is slated to be their left fielder. They have to do something. Sandy Leone is supposed to be the backup catcher right now. I cannot. Okay.
Well, I saw Brian Labatita tweeted the other day that he wants to be able to play again. So bring him up.
Well, someone has to play over Sandy Leone. If Spencer doesn't want to watch Bradley Zimmer, I do not want to watch Sandy Leone play baseball ever again.
Sandy Leone was.
What's Jake Bauer's up to?
I'd rather have Jake Bauer behind him.
He's in Goodyear. He's in Goodyear with the Reds.
Is he really?
Oh,
Yeah.
I sent you, what was it, like December? I sent you that video on Instagram. That guy missed his swing when they were trying to find out what the sex of their child was. And I was like, Jake Bauer's getting great offseason work in.
Oh my God. Wow.
Well, here's
Not
one,
that you
Justin.
send me that. Oh, no. Okay.
That's going to be heavy bias.
I just want to throw it at you, Justin. I'm looking I actually found my draft sheet, and so 2018 they had the 29th pick, 2017 they had the 28th pick, 2016 they have 14. Like they haven't had top 6 picks. Like that, they're not relevant.
No, I'm
Clint
not
Frazier
saying
was
that.
a
I'm
top-
just saying
yeah,
in general.
Clint Frazier was a top 6 pick. That
The
was
Dodgers
last
have been drafting
one.
the back every round for the last decade, and they still find guys in every round somehow.
Mhm.
But
The Dodgers don't even need draft picks because they put all their money in the international market.
That's true.
And then they get,
And then
Oh,
they get richer because they're so good at scouting and drafting players too. Like it's unfair.
And by the way, the number 1 Indians first round pick in the last, let's say, 20 years it was also the trick answer to who is the longest tenured Indian to not play for any other team since Bob Feller.
Charles Nagy?
No. That trader went and played for another team.
Oh, man, I should know this. Say it again.
You do-
Say it.
He's the longest tenured Indian to not play for any other team since Bob Feller.
And
And he's also the best.
What
and
year
he
was
well, if I give you the year, you know who it is.
Okay,
But he was the best Indians first round pick since, I'm going to keep going back. Better than Sowers, better than Guthrie. Wow.
I hope.
Go back. Okay, he's the best
Jeremy
since
Guthrie.
he's the best since CC Sabathia in 1998. I love that I'm getting you. I know we've talked
Pat
about
wasn't
this
even alive
on
for that, so he's out.
We've talked about this on this podcast before.
Yeah, I wasn't
Yeah,
gonna say.
Was Chisenhall a first round pick?
It's the Lonnie
Yes.
Chisenhall.
The only white man in the world named Lonnie.
That's the only person in the world I know named Lonnie.
I know so many black men and women named Lonnie.
I think Kipnis was in that draft too.
He was second round. I
This
think.
was a second round pick.
Okay, Pat's right. The Pirates have Lonnie Walker Jr. Okay, so Pat's right. Wow, yeah, Lonnie.
He wasn't
that's
that
right.
draft.
Well, okay,
Kipnis was the
Lonnie
next year.
Chisenhall played for the Pirates, though. Lonnie Chisenhall
he
played
did
for the
not.
Pirates.
He did not.
You only made a spring training appearance, right?
Yep, he never played in the regular season.
Really, his
Just
calves
like
were
Ro-
that shredded by then.
Yeah, Rafael. No, he got hurt and he retired.
Right, his calf.
believe
It was his calf.
His calves were
Oh, yeah,
pulled
yeah.
pork or brisket, basically.
What the heck?
Falling off the bone.
Okay.
Yeah, like literally, like Mabel's barbecue.
It's like the movie Hostel, where the guy is tied to the chair and he gets up and he just falls right over because his legs are cut off.
Oh shit!
Oh, so you have time to see that movie?
Oh, it was like 10 years ago when I had time to do things.
When do
Yeah.
you think The Wire came out?
Yeah, you've only had like 20 years to see it.
You had my entire life to see it, Justin. Like
It
literally
wasn't on
came
last
when
week.
It was on when I was 1 year old, Justin. You
That
had
was like
time.
that was like
Justin.
a couple years ago, Pat. Okay.
If I can see it, you can see it.
I'll add it to my Netflix queue this offseason. I'll order
No,
the
you won't.
DVD.
It's on HBO.
It's on HBO.
Oh man,
Well, I can't watch it then.
get your digital streaming platforms correct.
I haven't even seen a single Marvel movie. Okay.
Oh, that's the
Jesus.
problem.
My God,
All right, let's start talking about Marvel movies.
No.
We need to
Oh,
talk
then I'm
about
all right. You guys
the
can go on
cinema
without
that
me
is
the
the
rest of the
Batman.
night.
The Batman.
Are you not counting Chisenhall's 7 games in AAA with the Pirates then?
No, I'm counting the
Oh.
major leagues. Before him, it was Rafael Perez.
A career of 8 WAR was the best first round pick.
No, it was the best all-time Indian who never played for another team since Bob Feller.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Because Grady Sizemore
Yeah.
ruined it. Because he actually did play a couple games.
Oh, he did play with the Tampa Bay Rays and the Boston Red Sox.
Yep, he ruined it. It was supposed to be
He signed with the Phillies too.
He did sign with the Phillies for a year. Yeah. Oh man.
Sure.
All right. Well, that's great. See, the Cleveland's really good at first round picks.
That 2000.
And then it was supposed to be Jason
Team I
Kipnis.
remember.
And Jason Kipnis played with the Cubs.
He ruined it too. And then
He
the
wasn't,
Indian...
but he wasn't the first round pick.
No, I'm not talking about first round picks. I care about like a guy
Wow.
playing the whole career with one team. I really like that Tony Gwynn, Cal Ripken. It's fun for
I
me.
mean, Tony
Derek
Gwynn
Jeter even.
of baseball, except he never had an all-time player choke against him like Dirk did with LeBron. You shouldn't have took those pay cuts for that, man. That was. Imagine taking pay cuts just for your team to trade away guys like Sandy Alomar, like the Alomar brothers and stuff. Like those that core that they had during the late 80s and stuff, the Padres, and they kind of let it evaporate and let Tony Gwynn out was crazy because they had Ozzie Smith Jr., the Alomar brothers.
Yeah, Ken Caminiti, he died from steroids.
So
Yeah,
not
me
bringing
too.
steroids back.
I'm just making stuff up.
Lil Wayne's in on this. He is. Let's go Red Sox. He's back. Lil Wayne's back. He's excited about baseball. I saw him tweet that. Who says they couldn't get the fans back? Right?
You know how insane it is in '94? He batted .394 but struck out 19 times. That's insane.
Tony Gwynn.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't even strike out against Greg Maddux or something.
Yeah, it was something. He had like 65 plate appearances and never struck out against him. Something like that.
Yeah. Tony Gwynn was a cheat code.
And people want to compare him to Matt Rosario, like the skill set's the same. By people, I mean Rick Manning. By people, I mean Rick Manning.
Wait, that's it. No, that conversation did not happen. You're kidding, right?
Rick Manning will literally sit in the booth and complain about hitters, and he'll say something like, "I'll vividly remember this." He's complaining about Matt Rosario and his forward to the pro. Well, no, not him. It was Jose, I think, and it wasn't even Jose. It was somebody who was pulling the ball, and he just brings up George Brett. Why can't everybody be like George Brett? Well, like.
Why can't you be like one of the best hitters in baseball history?
Yeah, I mean, it's so hyperbolic to compare.
That was like a argument we had on Twitter with somebody who wanted us to who said they shouldn't, or why shouldn't they ban the shift? Players should just learn to hit the ball the other way.
I was just gonna say that. It's like my two favorite things are Austin Carr saying the Cavs need to get it down to 10 points when they're getting absolutely destroyed, and then when one of the broadcasters says, well, they hit it to left field, and if they use all the field, they'd be a good hitter. Well, no shit. But they don't use all the field. They're a pull hitter. They're left-handed. Like, it's baseball these days.
And it's not even just that.
Pitchers are good.
Credit to the guys who
Yeah, pitchers are good. Yeah, you don't have an accountant throwing to you like you did, 30 years ago.
I remember 2020, because we had nothing but old baseball broadcasts on, and I don't know if it was Bally's or STO, whatever it was back then, or if it was MLB Network, but they were showing the 97 All-Star game, which was in Cleveland, and they were talking about Roger Clemens being one of the best power pitchers in baseball. His fastball averages 95 miles an hour. His fastball averages 95. That was top of the scale back then. And today, if you throw 95, you're like middle of the pack in terms of velocity.
Yeah.
And that doesn't even talk about like how other breaking stuff looks now compared to back then. Although we don't have spider tack anymore, so I don't know.
Yeah, you just got to use the other side of the field.
I wish we could take Emmanuel Clase and put him in baseball in the 20s, and so we can.
No chance that happens. They wouldn't even allow it.
He's getting arrested.
I mean, yeah, there's that part, but I want to see Babe Ruth soil his pants when he's on deck. I would like to see that happen.
Carl May literally killed somebody in 1920.
Maybe 1920 is not a great year.
No, he literally killed a person from throwing a pitch at him. So I mean, they were thrown all right.
They would have probably killed Emmanuel Clase if he would have did against.
I think they would have probably considered him like some sort of outer space.
Consider that treason. Like they would have went through the whole court process and everything.
They would have used the foul pole as a gallows.
They would have gotten one cut fastball and they'd have been like, all right, this is some kind of
get this guy out of here.
He would have been outed so fast as someone who traveled back to the back.
Give him the Rube Foster, no.
Witchcraft.
Little witchcraft. Okay, I don't think that would work.
They probably would have said it was witchcraft. That's probably what they said about Satchel Paige back in the day.
That's true.
They love the magical Negro stereotypes in sports. Like that's why I hate Field of Dreams and the Legend of Bagger Vance and all those movies, sports movies like that. It's just really just.
All right, if we're gonna start hating on Will Smith, I'm gonna end this broadcast.
Oh, I forgot you are Will Smith.
Field of Dreams.
He was in Legend of Bagger Vance.
I've never seen that, but I love Field of Dreams.
Well, okay, you've had a long time to watch it.
You've
had a long time to watch it. Longer than The Wire.
Don't watch it. Don't watch it. It's worse than Wild Wild West. Don't watch it.
I love Wild Wild West.
It is. All right. Yes. All right. You two are gone. It's just me and Joe now.
I'm sorry.
Let's go.
It's just me and Joe now. You guys got to go. I'm sorry. You
guys
guys don't like
Denzel Washington propaganda account.
Well, no, we stand Will Smith here. They're making Denzel
Jeter, Will Smith is no more.
Oh, they're making I Am Legend 2 with Will Smith and Michael B. Jordan. And let me tell you, I will be the first in line to buy tickets for that.
I'm gonna go with you, Justin, just so I can break down the movie when we go to dinner afterwards, and I can hate it.
I am not watching a Will Smith movie with you, Pat.
No, we're gonna go watch a Will Smith movie together. And then
Did he not die in the first one? I thought he died at the end. Wasn't that the whole?
He didn't die in the There's an alternate ending that the book had.
We're making movies on alternate endings.
The book doesn't have him dying, and that's the alternate ending. Was the book? Okay. He didn't die in the book.
He wasn't in the book.
He's playing the character from the book. I'm going to be the first in line to stay movie, so we are not going to sit here and bash Will Smith on this podcast, and we're already an hour and 45 minutes in, so it's fine.
Yeah. He's living that life some consider a myth. Rockin' South Street from 125th. Women used to tease me. Give it to me now nice and easy. Since I moved up like George and Wheezy. Creep to the max. You want me to keep going?
I'm so glad I'm not old enough to remember Will Smith's lyrics.
Oh.
I'm so glad.
How dare you? This is an 81 Honda. How dare you? Spencer's like, why am I on here still?
Would you like to bounce with the brother that's platinum?
Play ball.
My movie takes are pretty bad, so.
Your what?
My movie takes are usually pretty bad, so. Try to keep them to myself.
You're a Zack Snyder fan, aren't you?
No, it's not that bad.
Oh no.
Okay.
They're just worse than his baseball takes.
I was gonna get kind of sitting up in here.
I'll watch like any Adam Sandler movie, even though I know they've been terrible for 20 years now.
Oh, that sounds like torture.
That's reasonable though.
Not really.
No, it's not. It's definitely not reasonable. Like they're pretty bad, but if one comes
not
out,
after Mr. Deeds.
Yeah,
like after that point.
And they'll still come out, and I'm like, I'll watch it anyways. And I know I shouldn't because they're.
We got to talk about it. We got to talk about how he deserved that Oscar for Uncut Gems. He really deserved that Oscar.
Oh, that was a good one. Yeah,
solid one. You telling me it's not?
I think the last.
Even though he's
last
kind of
movie
halfway
my
beat
life
himself
was-
with the sports betting and stuff. And Kevin Garnett stole that movie though, and he was excellent.
Oh.
Why the fuck would you show me something if I couldn't have it then? That was me during that lockout.
Oh, hey, guys, we're getting expanded rosters to start the year.
How expanded?
I'm trying to read as we go here.
Oh, I see.
Lost again.
What I really need to know is when does spring training start? Like, this is
Literally
significantly
tomorrow.
important.
You have to work tomorrow.
God
Literally.
damn it.
Yeah, you literally got to be there at 13th.
Yes. No, literally. Players report Sunday.
Well, but that's for practice, right?
Practice. Yeah. Spring training. They report for training on Sunday.
Yeah, but when are the games?
Oh, March 17th.
I got a week. That's fine.
You got a week to show up. Are you in the best shape of your life? You have had okay. The lockout has gone 100 days. Are you in the best shape of your life?
I'm decent.
How many best shape of their life stories are we going to get next week? Since these guys have had
They did
40 or
Okay.
11 million.
Because I just saw one today, and I can't remember who it was.
If Jonky's in the best shape of his life, he's going to be able to bench Bobby Bradley.
he might have been able to do that last year. No, the best shape of your life tweet earlier was Colin Kaepernick. Someone said
That's what it was.
yeah, it was the best shape of their life Twitter account. They said he was in the best shape of his life.
Gotcha.
I need to let that go, man. That man hasn't played since the Bush administration.
Damn.
Like, it's football.
It used to be like
I mean,
what? Sorry, I don't want
Commanders
to.
just all right. The Commanders just traded a ridiculous amount of picks for Carson Wentz. You don't think they'd rather have Colin Kaepernick? I mean, let's be
Colin
honest.
Kaepernick is turning 35 this year.
Careful. What are you saying about 35-year-olds?
No, it's fine. I turned 30 this year, right? It's fine. I can criticize other 30-year-olds now. That's how it works.
Okay.
No, it doesn't.
I know that's not how it works. But I'm going to say it is.
I'm just reminding you.
Once you're 30, you're never getting another major league contract again. Unless you're a backup catcher.
Yeah, unless you're Sandy Leone.
We have two.
Yeah, that's fine.
Ugh. Yeah, you know, as of right now, Cleveland has no catcher under contract for next year, unless you want to count Lavastida.
That's
I
why,
do wanna
Joe's in the best shape of his life.
I was in the head.
No, I've
Joe,
never-
Joe,
I
you are
can't.
the backup catcher next year.
I can't get into that position. They'll have to put Matt Underwood back there. I've heard he does it with a
Manning.
stool. If he gets to
Rick
the
Manning, you got to
stool.
show me either way.
Get him a bucket.
I'm gonna get Rick Manning a milk crate.
The expanded
And a diaper.
rosters, it says.
He needs a milk crate and a diaper.
Okay, this is we're talking about Rick Manning. This is totally off subject, by the way, but this was like I don't know if it's 2019 or 2020 broadcast. And they were talking about tanning for some reason and whatever.
Spray
And
tan.
Rick, huh?
Spray tan. He was like spray tanning when I worked at 970, and that was like 12 years ago.
Well, no, he admitted to talking about having his own tanning booth at home, and he was like, "Oh, well, everybody has that," and Rick and Andre was like, "No, like nobody else besides you has a tanning booth at home. Like, speak for yourself." He like just admitted having a tanning booth at home, and
I remember
just
that now.
assumed, like-
Now I remember the very specific way Andre said that, and it's funny. Yeah, Andre Knott is really cool. He's cool people.
Yeah, he used to be.
Huh?
I said he used to be.
Wow.
Are you blocked by him now too?
No, I just didn't like when he first came out of the show, he would like give these advanced statistical, introspections, and they kind of bullied him out of that, and they really
look who his broadcast partners are.
Well, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. The two of them really bullied him into like being like him, like they are, And instead of modernizing the broadcast, it ended up being just more of the same. I was really disappointed.
Wait till Rick Manning retires and Jensen Lewis is his replacement.
When is he going to retire? In 2030 or so?
Oh,
2040?
This is a good, Justin, this is a good day, and you keep making it worse. Stop saying shit.
I really have. I will have to mute. No.
Why should it be Rick Manning and Jensen Lewis now?
Ooh. I don't even know if Andre is really good at what he does, but I don't know if even Andre is bringing that one back.
It's the funniest thing. Like in baseball, we talk about how bad it is. You have to wait like 7 years to make it to the major leagues, but Andre can be there for 20 years. He's not making it to the big leagues and getting in that booth.
I would rather watch a game with Andre up there. Andre and
I would too.
I don't know, whoever, doesn't matter.
Anybody, just get anybody new. But no, these guys have to be there for 30 years.
You know what? Move Al Pulowski up there with Andre. Not those two.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Not really.
But I'm so sick of Underwood getting a fly ball, and it's nowhere near.
Well, he gets to go on the road again this year, so maybe it won't be as bad. Because the last couple of years they didn't get to go on the road for a lot of games, and it got worse. So.
And the juice ball and the dead ball really fooled too. Like there were some balls hit with them messing with the ball or whatever. Like there were some that looked like they would have been home runs off the bat. That just
so like my dad used to make fun of like Herb Score because they said he couldn't judge a fly ball. He was also like 60 or 70 and got hit in the face by a baseball. Matt Underwood is probably worse at judging fly balls than Herb Score was when he was doing Indians games.
Obviously, yeah.
I can't say anything bad about Matt Underwood. He is a nice human being. I've met him a couple times. He was doing a MAC football broadcast when I was working at Akron in college, and he was very nice. So I can't say anything about Matt Underwood.
I mean, in my personal life, Rick Manning has been nicer to me than Matt Underwood.
Matt Underwood has decent taste in Jordans for a 50-year-old white man.
Where's the bar on that? I just have to know, where's the bar on that?
Yeah, how many 50-year-old white men just wearing Jordans?
It's at the bottom of the river.
On the 2080 scale.
It's a 1 of 1 scale.
Yeah, literally. It's like
him and Skip Bayless.
What kind of shoes does Jensen Lewis wear?
Air Monarchs.
New Balances.
No, that's Jeff Phelps.
Yeah. It's crazy though. It's crazy. That's kind of reminded me. Remember how the frenzy the Yankees reporters went into because Clint Frazier wore Jordans on the field?
Oh yeah. I hope now that he's with the Cubs now, he grows the hair back. Clint Frazier.
Yeah,
for sure.
I hope we get like full carrot top again.
They were acting like he was baseball Eminem though, or something. Like when Eminem started wearing the do-rags because he had on Jordans on the field. That was crazy.
I can't, like, it was such a stupid thing. I don't even recall the tweets because I was literally just like, okay, this is one of the dumbest things. This is as bad as their facial hair policy. Like, I just tuned it out because it was so stupid. Clint Frazier has a great shoe collection. Have you seen his Instagram?
Yeah, a lot of baseball players, a lot of them are sneakerheads. Like I know Logan Allen, most of the guys in Cleveland system are. Yeah.
Oh, Daniel Johnson's got a big sneaker thing, and I think Richie Palacios too.
Yeah, that makes sense. Richie Palacios from New York, and DJ's from the Bay Area, so that makes sense.
All right. Well, we didn't cover anything I wanted to cover. That's okay. Once Joe got here, we just totally went the other way. That's okay though. We're good. Nobody signed anything. It's 11:30. We have no free agent movement, no trades. I think this is a testament to that the players, teams, GMs, and agents, they suck at cheating. Like they know they weren't supposed to tamper or talk about trades or free agents during the lockout. I kind of thought some of them would. So Joe's right.
We need more cheating in baseball.
I hate to.
That's really the lesson. That's really the lesson from all of this is we need more cheating.
I hate to agree with Joe, but literally there's not been one move. That just proves they all suck at cheating.
Yeah.
Maybe they were cheating. They're all just really bad at it. Like, what if Jason Michaels took steroids back in the day?
Probably did.
The Indians, and look how good that turned out.
Yeah, and Trot Nixon.
Spencer's just going to ignore Jason Michaels because he's blocked it out of his mind.
I remember every bad seventh outfielder or the Guardians have had for the last 20 years.
No, they were the
Somebody
Indians.
should have.
David DeLucia.
Somebody should have offered.
David DeLucia.
I was just going to say, somebody should have offered that man some steroids. Like, man, you just really need this. Like
David Murphy.
You think Paul Bird should have shared his HGH around the clubhouse?
Right, with David DeLucia, absolutely. I was standing in left field in a game in 2007, and David DeLucia was there. I was at the right at the home run porch, and David DeLucia looks at me, throws a ball to me. The ball doesn't even make it to the railing. Like, he doesn't get it anywhere near me where I can catch it, and it falls back down on the field. And he just looks at me like I suck at baseball, and I'm like, you're a professional baseball player, and you couldn't even throw it over an 18-foot wall.
Dude,
like you're Colt McCoy. You're Colt McCoy with a left arm.
the most agonizing I've ever had, like frustration, like red in the face, was seeing a ball hit the left field when Johnny Damon played for us.
General cramping.
Oh my God, man.
Oh,
that wasn't the guy. Ryan Rayburn. No, that was the guy.
When I was 5 years old and I saw
Yeah.
a kid and I saw Johnny Damon on those Red Sox teams, I knew he was a pothead then.
Yeah. And
Makes
I
sense.
don't think he smoked enough weed because he was, by the time he got to Cleveland, he was cooked. He should have kept smoking.
Should ask Chris Perez.
No, Brody Perez.
Brody
Not Chris.
Perez. Gotcha.
Brody Perez. It was all sent to his dog. Okay,
Gotcha.
his dog
Gotcha.
had a problem.
Ingenious.
Are they even testing for that in baseball anymore? Do they finally drop
No,
that?
I would think it's legal.
Yeah, they don't test for marijuana anymore. Like it's
Thank
very
God.
popular among players now.
But remember what a big deal was when Chris Perez got suspended for it?
No.
Well, that's because it was like pre-Twitter popularity. But
It was like early Twitter.
all the 55 and 60-year-old white men on the news were very upset with Chris Perez.
Very upset.
Good for them.
Yeah,
Not surprised.
they were
Rick
all
Manning is furious.
That's Rick
What they-
Manning wanted nothing to do with Chris Perez after that.
Yeah, Rick Manning's gotten into some things, I think.
Okay, we
I
don't
have
need
a
to go there.
story. I have a story about Rick Manning from a friend who saw him at a golf course.
I do hear they spend a lot of time there.
That man's
All right, great story, Pat.
I
got a story.
Oh, my bad.
thought it was-
I'm sorry.
Was the friend-
You want me to tell the story?
Was the friend Dennis Eckersley?
No. It was
30 years ago.
Yeah, but no. One of my friends saw him there. He was drunk and basically, but yeah, he was being Rick Manning. I'm pretty sure his liver probably looks like a catcher's mitt.
I mean, who here has not been drunk at a golf course before?
I've never even been to a golf course before.
Yeah, no, I haven't. I've been on this podcast tonight, but that's it.
All right, Spencer and I are keeping
I have
that
to
down, 'cause-
Yeah,
It's like we have been to a golf course, we have been drunk, so
that's fair.
I guess we have nothing good to add to that story.
No, but he was just acting like Rick Manning. Well, being,
Yeah.
They used to-
entertaining.
At least we're gonna
Stop learn to slice the ball to left field is what was going on.
So we're gonna
Or
golf
just
course in college, and Urban Meyer was a very nice human being, and that is complete satire. He sucks.
We have a teenager sitting.
No,
in his
there
lap.
was no cart beverage girls at this golf course, so he was fine there. But he was just a complete asshole when he was there. Austin Carr was really nice, super nice. So that's my favorite experience at golf courses.
I was in Key West in February for a wedding, and this bar had a Ohio State helmet hung up and had Urban Meyer's signature on it. And this guy was there. I told him I was from Ohio, and he's like, "Oh, you Ohio State fan?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "This was signed by Urban Meyer," and he was like talking it up. And I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, "That's not as cool as you think it is." Like, I'm just listening to this guy, and I'm like drunk at this bar, and I didn't even say anything. I'm like, I could say so many things right now, but somehow I'm sober enough to not to Not to tell you what I really think of your Urban Meyer signature helmet.
I grew up literally from like 3 minutes where he went to high school, and he doesn't even have a good reputation there. So
I didn't know you're from Ashtabula.
I'm from Conneaut, the city.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You got two Ashtabulans here.
Conneaut, Ohio.
Now we should run
Beautiful,
away.
elegant.
Yeah, Erie, Pennsylvania.
Erie.
Hey. All right. Well, I think we've gone 2 hours. I think we're good. Hopefully nobody made it this far because, dear God, the stories we just told and going to get us all in trouble.
Ashtabula County is the worst one.
Ashtabula County.
Yes, that's the worst story for sure.
That's just talking about
Ashtabula County is the
County
worst one. That's why I moved 2,000 miles away from there.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've been back home like 6 times in the last 5 years.
Yeah,
that's
we
terrible.
treat Ashtabula like a sundown town, so I don't even go over there. I don't go over there.
You shouldn't. It's very bad.
Oh. Yeah, if they don't like baseball in Youngstown, they don't like baseball in Ashtabula.
Let's not go that far. They like it.
Just
No, you gotta go
literally
to
just the
East
two of
Lake.
you. Yeah, nobody likes baseball there either. You can tell by the attendance of the captain's games.
There you go.
Right, Pat?
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything baseball related you guys want to bring up? Because I think it's 2 hours. We can probably get out of
No,
here.
you're
Is there
good.
anything else you guys want to bring up?
Field of Dreams is a good movie.
It is.
Will Smith is my favorite actor of all time.
Oh man! Now
Why
I
isn't
gotta-
he in a baseball movie?
Now I gotta close this off
Is he not?
with something nice.
No, he's in Concussion, the football
Oh,
movie.
that's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
That accent was awful.
That was it. What?
That accent was not good.
Never saw it.
I'm not even gonna let you have a closing statement for that.
That's
Give me
fine.
some
Justin.
quote from the Wire. It's gonna be a quote from the Wire. That's fine.
Okay. Just know that the price of the brick is going up.
Good Wire reference.
Thank you. The price of the brick is going up.
So is the price of baseball tickets, I'm sure.
I mean, they're always going to go up. And that's one thing too. Like, I don't understand how Paul Dolan expects people in Northeast Ohio to go to games when we can't afford it.
Hopefully we can all afford to watch it on Apple TV.
Too many streaming.
I have Apple
services.
TV. I have
I
Apple
don't.
TV. I don't pay for it.
You're gonna jailbreak a Fire Stick. I'm gonna say that on the internet so people find that out.
I don't know if you can get sports from doing that. I jailbroke a Fire Stick once. I don't think you can get sports from doing that though.
I jailbroke my Fire Stick, and I have access to everything, international sports and stuff too. Like I'll be watching soccer and all that.
I'm gonna talk to Pat later instead of you.
Pat, who's that knocking on your door there?
You see,
Hey, man.
it's Will Smith.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Oh. Joe,
with
any
them people from Ashtabula County after me.
Well, now you got one that wants to talk to you about your jailbroken Fire Stick.
Yeah.
Yeah, if anyone, my plugs, if anyone wants some Bucephalfandra, I got you at the ocean floor in Phoenix, Arizona. Nobody knows what that is.
Joe's got to go to bed. He's got to go. He's got to go to
I
Goodyear
have to go to work
tomorrow.
tomorrow. Yes, I
To the
live in Goodyear.
ballpark.
I live in Goodyear.
Yes.
I go there every day.
Is it Goodyear Ballpark? Is that what it's called?
Yes, it's literally called Goodyear Ballpark. It's owned by the
Oh.
city of Goodyear. So the
Why-
the Guardians have been
Why-
paying rent for the last month.
Why can't we do that in other cities? Why can't the city own the ball? Well, I guess
They do sometimes.
Yeah, but the team doesn't pay rent. We pay rent
Yeah.
for them.
No, the team pays rent. If the city owns the stadium, the team pays rent.
No, we pay their rent. The fans
No.
pay that.
No, you paid to build the stadium.
Today I found out that certain Negro League, like the Homestead Grays, used to outdraw the Pittsburgh Pirates at their own stadium, and when they were renting out.
Yes.
They would do
But
that today.
They're all
They would do
dead,
that
Justin.
today.
Justin, they're all dead.
There's definitely certain SEC college baseball teams that are outdrawing any team that would be down in the South right now.
Yeah.
I want to
I watched LSU
out of
and
pocket about the South right now, but I'm not.
I watched
down there, but
I watched LSU and Texas play last weekend, the Shriners College Classic, and I'm pretty sure they outdrew the Pirates.
Oh, easily.
Or what are they? At some point this year, they will outdraw the Pirates.
of course, there's not
All
much
right, well-
to do about it besides watching baseball when you got to Russell Cattle and stuff. Or plant grain.
Louisiana's got hurricanes in LSU baseball.
I'm surprised they got baseball stadiums in Louisiana. I'm surprised they don't sink it to the swamp.
On that note, all right.
Or
Well,
if I had a delay game because of alligators or something. Alligator on the field.
Rally alligators
Alligator on the field. Anybody? Someone? Anybody?
in the swamp.
Oh. Mardi Gras speeds being thrown somewhere where it shouldn't be during games. But no, New Orleans is a very wild place. I want to see that. I actually would like to see that city get a baseball team for any other city, respectfully.
You have the New Orleans baby cakes.
Didn't they move?
No, I think they're still there.
No, I don't think they're the AAA affiliate of the Marlins anymore. That's in Jacksonville now. Jacksonville
yeah, you're
Shrimp.
right.
That's a cool name, by
Yeah.
the way. Jacksonville Shrimp.
We're jumbo shrimp.
Jumbo Shrimp, excuse me.
Don't get Joe started on minor league nicknames. We will be here for another hour.
I can talk to you about
Do
shrimp.
that. It is a cold-blooded animal.
I got all sorts
Something.
of shrimp. I got shrimp sitting right next to me. If
We
I have
could
a
be here for
webcam,
long
you would
time
see
if we
them.
do that. I think we're good.
Yeah, been good.
I think we're good. All right. Well, Joe's got to go to work tomorrow, like at the ballpark in like 6 hours. Pat's gonna go watch a Will Smith movie, and Spencer's gonna go figure out how Pat jailbroke his Fire Stick.
Yeah, watch
That's
After Earth.
Yeah, Pat, watch After. Don't watch After Earth. Actually, that was a terrible movie. Even as a Will Smith fan, I can't recommend that one. What was the other one he did on Netflix with the orc?
I don't know.
The police movie.
Yeah, Bright. Don't watch that either. If you didn't,
No, I did, sadly.
Watch his
Just
wife
'cause
and
I
Goblin.
wanted to see how bad it was and just oof.
if I say a
Justin-
Will Smith movie is bad, just know it's awful.
Hey
It's
Justin,
the worst thing ever.
I got something to tell you, man. Jamie Foxx is who you think Will Smith is,
Damn.
and you can sing too.
Wait, Jamie Foxx in
Oh.
No Way Home was better than Jamie Foxx in Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Absolutely. The Amazing Spider-Man 2 was awful. Like,
Yeah.
the
No, but he
screenplay
played
was
the
awful.
character in No Way Home that he should have played in Spider-Man 2.
Oh, for sure.
I watched absolutely none of those movies you guys just talked about.
Go watch
But-
it. It's dumb.
Yeah, Sony's
You
in
need to
it.
go see some dumb things.
Sony's in it.
I'll start watching all this stuff at the offseason. We just got baseball back. I can't go watching other stuff now. We just got baseball back.
Coward.
I don't have time. I ain't got no time for that. I have college games to watch. I have minor league spring training games to bug Joe about.
Yeah, that's happening.
Yeah, I'm gonna get off, guys.
All right. All right. Well, anybody listening to this, I'm going to upload this as a podcast after this. So anybody who listened to this, God mercy on your soul. Thanks, guys.